An update for Bayonetta 3 is given by Hideki Kamiya, and everyone is freaking out about it, and I'm not really sure why. A release date appears for the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 for the Nintendo Switch Online, and people once again are freaking out about it, and I'm not really sure why. And finally, we end with a heartwarming tale about someone using their GameStop earnings for good, so stick around for that to feel better about humanity. What's going on, guys? I'm RGT85. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and be sure to like the video. I mean, I got 12 new white t-shirts in. You're going to be seeing a lot of white t-shirts on the RGT channel going forward. But without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games. The two games that are really shrouded in mystery when it comes to Nintendo Switch exclusives are, of course, Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3. Now, both of these games were pretty much announced around the same time many years ago. We got a little splash screen of the games being announced for the Nintendo Switch, and then, well, pretty much radio silence therein. Of course, Metroid Prime 4 underwent developmental changes. That game's probably not coming out for quite a while, maybe next year, maybe 2023, but Bayonetta 3 is a game that has been a lot quieter. Hideki Kamiya, who of course is the head of Platinum Games, has been doing lots of interviews recently though, and people are starting to question him about Bayonetta 3. And in a recent interview with Video Games Chronicle, which I'll have a link to in the description box down below should you want to read it, he was once again asked about Bayonetta 3, and evidently people didn't like his answers, and a lot of people are looking way too deep into this situation, and I'm sort of just here to clarify what he's talking about, at least in my opinion. So when asked about any Bayonetta 3 updates for the Nintendo Switch, Mr. Kamiya said the following: "It's not really our position to say, but it's January. We've got to have something come out, right? I guess it's safe to say to expect that something will come out. There's still a lot of the year left is what I'm saying." Then pressed a little bit more about Bayonetta 3, and Mr. Kamiya said the following: "I understand it's driving the fans crazy. In light of that, my suggestion would be that maybe we should all reset and forget about Bayonetta 3. Then when something finally does happen, it will be a nice surprise, won't it?" Now, in the interview itself, it said that he was using a joking tone when talking about this, but many people seem to completely ignore that part and just take everything that he said at face value, which this is Hideki Kamiya. If you know anything about this man, you would know one thing. He is a notorious troll. He is like one of the biggest internet trolls when it comes to the world of video games, especially as video game producers are concerned. The man blocked me many years ago, and I'm not even really quite sure why. There was like a block stretch goal in that awesome, wonderful 101 Kickstarter because they really needed money to release that game. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just being petty. I'm sure all of that funding went directly into the wonderful 101 and not into their new studio that they opened up right around the same time, but I digress. Hideki Kamiya is a massive internet troll, and when you look at how Platinum Games is even structured, they sometimes just do things that feel a bit on the whim. Look at a game like Astral Chain. Did anyone know about Astral Chain in 2018? No. When we started the year out in January, if you would have said, "Hey, what's Astral Chain?" people would have been like, "I don't know what you're talking about, man." But of course, Astral Chain was then revealed and then released within the same year, about 6 months after the game was showcased. I definitely think that Bayonetta 3 has a chance to be a 2021 game. And the fact that Platinum Games has done things like this with games like Astral Chain, where it pretty much just shows up, you learn about the game, and then the game gets a release date of a few months later down the road, it's kind of in line with what even Nintendo has been doing as of late. So people that are freaking out about this, oh, you should just, reset all your expectations, you should forget about Bayonetta 3. You can't forget about something that you know nothing about. What does the game look like? What does the game play like? There's nothing to forget when it comes to Bayonetta 3. Kamiya was obviously just saying this very tongue-in-cheek, and people that are taking this at the surface level and really taking what he's saying to heart about the game and then being concerned, maybe there's development problems with the game, just stop it, just relax. Understand that Hideki Kamiya is a big internet troll. Understand that Kamiya likes to say things to rile people up, and understand that you're probably going to get a substantial Bayonetta 3 update this year, and I wouldn't be super surprised if the game ends up releasing this year as well. So now that we've calmed down about the Bayonetta 3 story, it's time to calm down about yet another story. I actually saw this story a day or two ago online, and I was like, I'm not going to talk about this. There's really nothing here. But then something happened. Various websites started talking about it. Various YouTubers started talking about it. And I'm just sitting here thinking, people say that I'm clickbait, but did they even research this story to even want to go out and say anything about it? But I digress. I'm going to talk about it because others are talking about it, and I need to give you guys a more honest perspective perspective of what is going on here. So The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, another sort of mystery Nintendo Switch game. Of course, 2021 marks the 35th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda franchise. Many people think that some fun Zelda-related things are going to happen this year, and I am one of those people. I honestly think that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 could potentially be a holiday 2021 release date. You gotta remember, the groundwork for this game is pretty much laid out. They already have the engine that they're going to use for the game. They obviously just have to do things like spruce up the graphics and then make the game whatever they want to make it, probably like a Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask situation. Well, like I said, a release date for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 has appeared online, and all of these people are talking about it, and I'm just like, did you even look this up? Did you even do any additional research for this? So an Austrian website by the name of GameWare put up a release window of the second quarter of 2021 for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 on their website. Now, GameWare is an established website. I'm not going to take away anything from them. They are a major retailer in Austria, and they've actually been in the news before for other sort of related things like this, which if people would have looked into this, we wouldn't even have to talk about it, but I digress. We'll get into that in a moment. But according to this listing, it is Q2 of 2021 for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I have to wonder something. Have you ever seen a game say it's going to come out in Q2 of 2021 and then like you go to Amazon and you pre-order the game? No, you don't. And is it Q2 of the calendar year or the fiscal year? Because you got to remember, Nintendo's fiscal year ends on March 31st. So if it's Q2 of the fiscal year, it would be more so towards the holiday season. If it's Q2 of the actual calendar year, that would mean it comes out in the summer. And I don't see The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, this massive game, being a summer release for the Nintendo Switch, especially considering the fact that we haven't really seen anything from this game except for an announcement trailer that sort of made people excited for it. But like I said, GameWare is a website that has been around for quite a while, and they are a established retailer, but they've been in the news before, because did you know that back in January of 2020, yes, that seems like such a long time ago, but it was just a year ago, they actually made a listing for a game called Grand Theft Auto 6 that was coming out in 2021 for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Grand Theft Auto 6 end up coming out on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One? No. If anything, Grand Theft Auto 6 is years away. I would say like 3 to 4 years away at best, because of how Rockstar is essentially milking this game and getting everything they can from this game. I actually found this article that was written last year about GameWare saying that Grand Theft Auto 6 was coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, which confused the writer of the article, which is even crazy because this is just a random article, and I used to work with this individual way back in the Gaming Truth days, so it's kind of weird how everything comes full circle. Hi, Derek. I hope you're doing well. But people, calm down. Calm down about this Bayonetta 3 thing. Hideki Kamiya is trolling you. Calm down about this Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 release date, because it is not a release date. If anything, it's a release window. And why would they put up a release window for a pre-order of a game? No other website in the world would do this. This is just some sort of mistake. If anything, maybe they're trying to rile up people to go to their website and look at other things on their website, probably like they did with Grand Theft Auto 6. Do I think The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 has the potential to come out in 2021? I definitely do. I definitely think it could be a holiday game, but this is nothing to get worked up about. This is nothing as far as a confirmation is concerned. So internet, just relax. Just relax. I know gaming news is slow, but relax. We're all in this together. And finally, I promised you guys a heartwarming story to wrap up this video, because I mean, I guess there's been a lot of negativity in this video, so let's end on a positive note. Now, if you've been following the stock market situation with things like GameStop, there are people that are making some good money here. I ended up getting in way too late into the game. I lost like $500. Spawnwave tried to help me. Thanks, Spawnwave. Now I'm gonna have to go and rob you for my $500 that I lost. But the stock market has made a lot of people a lot of money, and I'm not a financial analyst. I'm not gonna talk about the stock market, where to put your money or anything like that. I mean, like I said, I just lost a bunch of money, so I probably don't know what I'm talking about. But somebody in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area, an anonymous individual, made a substantial amount of money through the GameStop stock that, of course, just skyrocketed absolutely to the moon. And this individual did something very, very good with their stock earnings. They actually picked up 10 brand new Nintendo Switch systems and bought them from a GameStop and drove them over to the Medical City Children's Hospital in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, this is a children's hospital that obviously works with sick kids, and you know, when they're rehabbing and stuff like that, they like to play video games because, I mean, everyone likes to play video games. So this anonymous individual, they didn't even do it for clout or anything like that. They didn't even put their name out there. This person was then covered by a local affiliate of the Dallas-Fort Worth news area, you know, news stories and whatnot, and then got a little bit of props. But like I said, he did this anonymously. He didn't even put his name out there, so it wasn't for clout. It was out of the goodness of his heart. Now, when's the last time you saw one of these Wall Street fat cats do something like that, dump up a whole bunch of Nintendo Switch systems at a children's hospital or anything like that? Like, you know, kids are cool, you know, but like, you know, like sick kids, like they tug at your heartstrings, man. You see those like St. Jude's commercials on the television, and you're like, okay, here's my wallet. You see the ASPCA commercials for the poor dogs and cats, and I don't even like cats, but you're like, all right, here's my wallet. So shout outs to this mysterious individual for providing this local children's hospital with 10 brand new Nintendo Switch units. Shout outs to you for doing it anonymously too. You didn't do it for the clout. You simply did it out of the goodness of your heart, and we need more people like you in the world, because you know, the world, you know, people think the world's a crazy place, but with individuals like this, it should give you a glimmer of hope that, you know, the whole world isn't a whole big piece of shit. You know, there are good people out there. All right, so that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know what you think of everything in the comments section down below, and as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel as well. Be sure to check out the video I made the other day where I actually crushed this soda can on my head, and my head hurt for like 2 days. I didn't make a video yesterday because my noggin hurt. I'm getting old. Getting old. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.